Hi, I'm Jill.
Oh, God. And I'm Gianna.
And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast,
where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for.
And it's the finale
Of New Jersey. Mm-hmm.
Flappers of Fury.
Well, somebody's got to be Fury. I know I'm furious.
What?
I'm just saying, in general, this is enough. I'm not sad.
Well,
here's my thing. So I'm not sad to see it end because I did like the girls that came back. I did like the new girls and the ones that came back and the whole. I thought this cast meshed well together.
Yeah.
It was enough fighting and enough, but yet they knew how to do things together. That's the ticket here.
Mm-hmm. They came back together.
You got to know when to come back together and enjoy the thing. And they kind of did that on the latest girls trip. They knew when to come back. Here's the thing: some of the things they're fighting over.
The latest girl trip, they came back once they got rid of Leah.
No, but a lot of them, like, they would fight, but then they'd still be able to go and do the event, is what I'm saying. But here's my thing. It's that the stuff they're fighting about, resolve it or don't, but let's just come on.
Well, yeah, because now they're all finally coming to the realization, it's been 10 years of doing this.
Yeah, let's let it go. So,
In some important news here.
I know what you're saying.
They've been put on pause, New Jersey.
We all know the new put on pause is the new Bravo term, so...
Yeah, it's like you're not fired, but you're not hired. It's basically... I saw people first speculating that they were not going to even start filming till the fall. But as far as now, they're on pause. No one's been fired yet, so none of that. Oh, Sky's going to grab a piece of cardboard and just take a little snack as if she just didn't eat dinner. Before Sissy Ridley interrupted. Yeah, they're on pause, they're not fired, they're not hired. It's pretty much Melissa and Teresa's fault because they cannot figure it out, which kind of means they clearly don't want to get rid of either of them, or they don't know who they would get rid of. That to me is
I think
what that means.
if they pick one, they're gonna have to draw a line in the sand, and I don't think they're ready to do that. But the problem is the way this ended. It was very definitive that they are
done.
They're done.
Like on both ends.
Yeah, and I don't know how that would play out on a show where you're supposed to be interacting with people. I mean, look, did they get together at these events and were cordial?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. So, I mean, maybe they can do that, but maybe they don't want that kind of show. They don't want this to be like, oh, everybody's just going to be cordial. Or I think it'll be a lot, but plus, they need to figure something out. Here's the thing, though.
They figured that out before not going to the wedding. Like, clearly the wedding now has been the big issue. So... It's kind of, I don't even know where they're going to go. And the reunion was not apparently good.
No, it didn't help. Didn't make anything better.
So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not looking great for them.
But in true New Jersey fashion, they started it with a good old, I don't even know if I want to call it. It was like a flash forward, because it was kind of
considering from where we left off. No, last week's episode started with Dolores at the party.
But this started with
12 hours after Dolores.
It started with Melissa, but then it flashed back. But then it kind of flashed forward in the flashback.
It was like, it was a flash forward, but you were like flashing back to like little things. And then it rewinded all the way back, pretty much. And honestly, I was worried watching that part that may be the best part of it all.
Yeah, I thought so too. Here's the thing that I'm discovering with these guys. There's going to be no big fights. No, well, I shouldn't say that. No fist fights. No actual contact of flesh from one another because...
Melissa wanted to.
No, but I think they all know that you shouldn't... That it's going to go... it can go poorly.
No one's going to side with you if you put your hands on somebody.
Knock, knock.
Did someone just fall in Cashew's shower? Because that's what that came from.
But I feel like they know that.
Because think about it. Like, Danielle stopped hold Marge's hair. Everybody turned on her and Teresa instantly.
I think show-wise, they know that just show cannot tolerate people laying hands on people. Yeah. I think they've shown that, like you said.
As much as I say I want it, but...
Yeah, but because even when you say Melissa wanted to do that, she may have, but when Joe was getting ready to kind of go at Louis...
Yeah, they all pulled him back.
But she got right up in there and, gave him, this weird, stern looking something I don't know what it was.
Well, here's the
almost
thing.
Like a thing don't do that because you know what'll happen. Then we'll be the ones that laid hands.
Well, that's true too in this situation. It's not like they're the younger housewives too. I think it's they're also older now. They should know better than to hit
this
people.
Situation is not going to go. It's going.
Yeah, hitting's not going to solve
I don't think
anything.
they're surprised they're on pause. Those two for sure. Maybe Teresa because she's sometimes a little clueless, but I think she knew this was a potential that could happen. So I think she was trying to not be the one that's causing the drama, or in that respect. Sissy, come here.
Last week it was Cooper. This week it's Sissy.
Yeah, she's really in rare form. But they start this one out with Dolores and Paulie. I think Dolores looked super duper. I think she might have been the best outfit. Yeah. Because it was simple. It was 20s. It was,
her hair matched with it
she
and everything.
And she did something different than everybody else did with the hair. Like, she went like with a little short do with like by pulling the hair under. Because everybody kind of had the same hairstyle. It was like down long, pinned to one side, kind of like where. So, I mean, hers was too, but it was a little bit different, I felt. But they were walking around, kind of giving us a little lay of the land of what they had done with the big balloon wall and the different foods, which I thought I was really impressed with, like, his whole layout. I thought that was really impressive, like with the foods, the passing of the foods, and they go outside. They got those dancers out there. I'm like,
out in his park driveway. Here's my thing: did they stand out there and dance to the words of the yelling the whole time?
No, I think they only stood out there while people are arriving.
I thought I saw them there when they were leaving too.
Oh, they were, yes. Weren't they?
So did they?
I don't know. Maybe they got to go sit somewhere.
I don't know, unless they were like, get up, ladies, dance to the tune of Melissa and Teresa fighting.
I don't know, but that's interesting.
I thought
I know there was people that
Rachel made a comment when they were leaving, so I'm pretty sure
she did, and I thought they were still there now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, they had the Irish dancers, they had Irish whiskey when you came in, and they had a singer. I didn't see the singers, but they said something about a singer. They could have been doing a little Irish singing.
Maybe the singers were the singers to the dancers. They also might have not been able to show the singers because they could have been singing like maybe a copyrighted song, so they just figured
it was probably some kind of Irish thing. I don't know, but I know they mentioned something about singers, and I thought like what Dolores said was really cute. She was saying that if she was living in this time, that she'd be like a boss.
Yeah.
And all the mobsters would be wanting to like, get with her and know who she was, and I absolutely think she would be like some kind of boss in this time frame for sure.
I can see that.
So everybody showed up in their period pieces. Some better than others. I did not like Melissa's look.
Oh, Sissy's here again.
Did you forget that he was sitting there, my dear? Yeah, your brother's sitting there. Sit down. Relax. She was in this weird 70s look to me.
But here's my thing. Her little thing on her head looked like it was constantly 2 steps from falling off her head.
And I don't think it was, but it looked like it was, but I don't think it was in a weird way because I never saw her adjust it.
No.
But it did not...
she could have been so enraged that she could have just not even thought about it.
Her outfit was not quite right.
Yeah,
I don't think she hit the mark. She looked like she was from the 70s.
I honestly could see Melissa wearing that any day of the night.
Yeah, that looked like a disco queen outfit. Marge, I didn't really like what she had on either. I thought she looked like a golden girl, and it was not... No, it wasn't a good look.
I could see...
Those head wraps are never a good look for anybody.
No, I could see that.
Her one piece, whatever that was very pretty, but the headpiece, she should have stopped there. Who else? I said Dolores was the best. Jen Fessler, I thought she looked good.
Yeah,
I thought she looked good, the fez. Rachel, she was okay. She was in this white outfit. It was like a little fur wrap. It was okay. I was confusing her with her interview outfit, which was this pink outfit with like, it almost looked like little pieces of mirror on the shoulder or something, and I was thinking that was what she wore there because I was getting so confused, and I'm like, okay, that looks like a 70s outfit. Her and Melissa are at the wrong party, but no, I'm at the wrong thing, so there you go.
Hey,
the first to arrive is always Marge. Her and Melissa are pretty good at being always the first to arrive.
She always is on time, Marge.
I don't know if they do that strategically. I know I'd always like to be the first to arrive so people come in to me instead of vice versa, but she's always
Marge does have a lot of conflict with a lot of people, so it would always be best for her.
I would always prefer to be the one coming into the scene.
Well, yeah, so she could get there first, set up her arsenal just in case she's got to whip something out. It's all prepped and laid out.
You never know. Apparently, we learned that somebody else has been building an arsenal, and it's not her.
No,
I don't think she knows as much as people think she does.
No, but like we said, I don't think it's like an arsenal she's digging around for. I think it's like overheard someone said that
somebody comes and tells you something that you shouldn't.
Which I think a lot of people have those arsenals, just in everyday life.
My next favorite couple, really mostly because I think I like the husband the most. I don't mind her, but the Fudas show up.
Yeah.
I like John Fuda. His beard looked a little bit like it could have been a Gorga spray-on. I've
always noticed that his beard's a little dark.
I think he dyes it. I don't know. I can't swear to it.
Maybe.
And then the Fez comes with her husband, and I thought she looked really good. Don't really see her husband and her together. I don't know. There's just something about him. Every time I see him, I'm like, who is that? Because like I saw him.
I do. Yeah, there was.
He was in a couple of the scenes, and I'm like, wait.
And then they pop up the tag that says Jen Fessler's husband.
And I'm like,
oh, okay, that's who it is.
I don't know who that is. But yeah,
there's no offense to that. Just
Yeah, I just
he hasn't been in a lot of scenes to remember him.
Yeah, I think so. And he does have a very every person face kind of thing. Like it's not like it's like Paulie. We haven't seen him a lot, but he's he's got a very particular look. You're not gonna mix him up with someone. So then of course Jen Aiden shows up. She arrives and immediately goes for the 9 I think I had some, maybe whiskey.
Oh.
Some mind-numbing whiskey that she had in Ireland where she was dropping like silverwares and falling off the chairs.
Yeah,
because
she figured if she gets drunk, she's not gonna remember anything. Which, I mean, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, it was a wise choice. I thought, like,
she didn't even really get that involved though, so she was kind of good.
No, she was on the outsides of
she got lucky.
Yeah, she said she was not going to do it, and then of course, our favorite Danielle the crier shows up, and she shows up right, of course, which we all know is probably editing, as the girls are all talking about her and saying that she was pouting and crying. I must have missed her crying at that shower. I don't know how I did.
I think they flashed.
I don't know if that was one of the ones that we saw or not. So sometimes it's hard, but I didn't see her crying. But they were saying that she was crying there, and they keep asking, like, well, does anybody know what was bothering her? Because it seems like something was bothering her in... I have a cat hair. Oh, sorry. That something was bothering her in Ireland, and she just, like, wouldn't go into it. And I think something I had listened to said that they felt Melissa was constantly trying to get this rumor out there that she knew about it. And lo and behold, we surprisingly hear that she did know about it. And that's why she would always constantly ask her, like, stuff, because she thought maybe she knew or this one knew. So she was trying to always, like...
And just get her to jump to the
because even in this one, you felt like you could... She kept pressing it. Like, well, but is there something we don't know that you know that we don't know that, like, you should know? It was, like, crazy talk. But, like, she kept pressing her. So I thought it was weird. And even in this talk before she came up, she's asking the girls, well, does anybody know what was bothering her? What else could have been bothering her? She kept forcing it. But then our favorite, Teresa and Louis, they show up. Louis doesn't say hello to Joe Gorga. He kind of just skirted him. But you know what? Here's my thing. That kind of party where there is so many people,
you could miss somebody.
You could get around that. Like, well, or look,
I'm sure they intended to not say hello, though.
Me too. But with so many people, you could play it off. They'd be like, oh, I didn't see you. And Joe Gorga, no offense, Joe, but you're a tiny guy. So, you got two Frankies in front of you and nobody sees you.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. But, like, and there was a lot of people there.
And they were all kind of out on that balcony in, like, a tight, like, space.
But you gotta love Frank. He knows his place in this thing. Yeah, spin it, Frank. Get in there. Frank got him right in there, and he was like, hey, did he say hello to you? Did he say what? Well, how'd it go? Like, to stir up to ask the questions. I don't know if there's a producer that is prodding him and using him as a little,
I'm sure, yeah.
I think so, too. I think they're kind of using him as a, little... They snuck in somewhere, and I missed them coming in, him and Brittany, and
yeah,
Frank.
I don't know where they got in, but they were there.
They snuck right in. Do you not notice Danielle's microphone through this whole thing? I don't know if it's her microphone.
Sometimes when she gets loud, it gets a little, like, pitchy.
You probably would pick it up better, but I think I was more annoyed with her fighting with everybody because something about her microphone was like, she was like, oh, like up on it or something. I don't know where they place it.
Sometimes it happens to our microphone when we both talk too loud. It's just because she's speaking so loud.
It almost sounded like it was picking up through her chest. Like,
honestly, maybe it could have.
I don't know how to explain it, but
she's so loud that she must be peeking her mic out.
I don't know. It sounded horrible. But everybody else but Marge was screaming at the top of her lungs too, and it wasn't... I don't know if it maybe, like you said, it's a different pitch in her voice. I don't know, but...
I'm going to go with the theory that I think I agree with you.
It's reverbing from her chest?
I think it's coming from the chest. Like, I think she's
yelling
what it sounded
kind of
so loud that, like, it's like her chest is, like, shaking.
I think she learned her lesson too, though, that she has to make up with Rachel because...
Yeah.
No, it's not Rachel. It's Rachel.
Were you going to say Raquel?
I might have.
Wait till next week.
I think she knows that was her ally, and she blew that one, and she should have kept that as her ally. So
their makeup was so quick, I almost missed it.
I know. I was just like, because I was
this whole episode felt really quick. All of a sudden, I see March going down the stairs. I'm like, guess it's over.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they had them leaving.
But then it wasn't over, and then it was
they had them leaving, and they put the, like, the little, slates, things up, but they only put it for half of them, because then, there's another scene, but that was
you're like, I guess they're done. I guess we won't see them again.
Guess we won't see them. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they made up, so hopefully that'll I mean, who's to say what's going to happen when they get to the reunion? Because by the time they get to the reunion, sometimes everything's different. Somebody says something in a blog or blah, and then they don't know. Well, now
they don't even do those anymore. They have them on the after show.
Yeah, that's where all the drama happens. Yeah, and that's even worse sometimes because it's taped and it's just, you can hear them saying and there's no misconstruing their words. Because you could see facial expressions and the whole bit. So I think that's even worse, but... And then Melissa, again, is like, this is where she's really prodding her. And it's like, oh, is there, like, what could be wrong with you? Like, what could be bothering you? Is there something bothering you? And, like, she just kind of just pierces her lips a lot, too. Have you seen that? When she's talking, she's like, Danielle, she's like this lip smacking that you'd want to kill her for. But she pierces her lips, especially when people are pressing her. I was watching this, and I was like, oh my God, I almost want to take a count now because I'm like, I just noticed her now, and she's up to 5. I'm like, what the hell?
No, I'd have to take a look.
Yeah, now you'll notice it all. It's like a Diana lip.
Oh.
Yeah, but she does this like, almost like she's trying to like fix her lipstick, but there's nothing to fix. I don't know. I think it's like a nervous tick that she gets when she starts to, because it was when they were asking her a lot. I think with this whole thing of her, she is trying desperately to stay in the middle of things because I think she...
Who? Danielle?
So I think she thinks this is how you're supposed to play it. And I think she should have watched the episodes better because I think this is what she
I think
learned.
An issue is that, if you watch the episodes, I feel like as a newbie, you're not supposed to be right in the middle yet.
No, I don't think she should be either. I think you should be on the outskirts. Oh, I'm having a deja vu. I feel like we had this talk already. Oh, little deja vu. Sorry.
Anyway. What the hell?
I'm having like a deja vu.
I'm not, so.
I know, I'm sorry you can't participate in my deja vu, but you were there, so obviously.
Oh, lovely.
Anyway, I agree. I think you gotta, again, with how they participate.
Like, I feel like Rachel was like, good. Like, I feel like
she threw some stuff in the pot.
Like, I think Rachel, it should have been like Rachel and Danielle fighting a little bit, like, because you're the newbie.
I think they should have kept the fight between them two because they are new.
Yeah.
And I think her trying to get in between Melissa and Teresa was a big no-no.
Well, because you're also going for the 2 biggest housewives.
Yeah,
it's not like, like if you wanted to fight with somebody else, maybe you went for like Jennifer Aiden because or somebody. There is a tier in this of like ranking of, and this is where you are.
And this fight was...
She tried to jump to the top.
Yeah, and it was because she did that, it was so blown out of proportion because I do believe that Teresa did not do anything wrong in this instant, to be honest with you, because I believe it was her cuckoo bird now husband who started this. I believe she found this rumor and her and Jennifer Aiden were not going to say anything. I think they were going to use it as a constant, like, ooh, we have this, or ooh, but I don't believe that they were... She was just keeping it in her arsenal. I don't believe they were ever going to say anything out loud because of their past experiences, and they knew that it would put them on the same level as what Marge did.
Well, yeah, Jennifer Aiden, I think, definitely would have never said anything just because, like, that's her new thing now. Is because she's experienced this cheating scandal. She doesn't want somebody else to experience it.
Yeah. And she's trying not to be the same way that Marge was, where she put this out there for everybody to hear. Yeah. However, she did tell Danielle, but here's my thing. I don't know if she was drinking that night, and that's why she gave it up a little bit. She could have had some of that Irish whiskey. I don't really remember what that was like, but... She had to know the cameras were watching her, and once you put it on camera, now it's out there, whether the person repeats it or not. It's out there. But my thing is, I think Teresa's been in this game long enough that even if we say she's clueless in this and that, she does know how to... I think she's learned enough to know, let me not get involved in this one. It never pans out for me. Yeah. So either, like, let someone else do it, but I think that's what Melissa thinks, like how she said that, but I don't think she actually did it. I mean, we know she didn't because she was not really involved in the whole Danielle going and saying something.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Teresa, only the time I could see Teresa mentioning this is if there was like another big fight between her and Melissa and her like sneaking it in there. Like, well, you did this with my, like,
but I think this was all Louis because when he mentions that Bo Dietl, who turns out to be a private detective, I
thought he was referencing a movie character, and I just wasn't getting it.
I thought he was talking like Beetlejuice or something.
No, because Bo Dietl sounds like
a movie,
yeah, like a comedy where like he's not a good private detective, like he's like unserious.
I thought it had something to do with like the Roaring 20s because that sounds like a name, like Bo Dietl, like the mobster.
I was like, I'm like, or maybe it's like a big person in New Jersey. I'm like, but I feel like we would know, but I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know. And we did hear Jen Feslow, because when I replayed it back, she did say to little Frankie about open his phone, get a number, because she wants to introduce her daughter to him. So so obviously I'm gotta know what this daughter looks like. I think he looked awkward and didn't know what to say, so I think he was just like, okay, he's very polite. I mean, that's Dolores' son. They're not going to be rude, but I was just watching the Fez go to work there, and I'm like, look at her move. She's landing herself.
Yeah, there she goes.
Husband.
I mean, that's a husband.
I mean, for the daughter. I mean,
a son-in-law.
Son-in-law. Well, I meant a husband for the daughter. And then now you have like Louie and Teresa. They kind of break off, and they're over there talking about. I love when they do these types of things. They're over there talking about Joe and Melissa, and then Joe is over there with Frank talking about like Louie, and Louie just comes in. I can't figure him out. He comes in and he's like doing all this loud talking that I don't think Teresa likes.
I don't think she does.
She doesn't like it when other people start fights like on her behalf, because she's already a mess to begin with, so she don't need no help. But he started saying like, "Oh, you're not happy," and she's like, "No," and I think she's really trying. She's like, "No, I am happy. I'm in my little love bubble, and this is all that matters. As long as I'm with you and I'm happy and whatever." I think she's really trying to be like that way. And he's like, "But you're not, because you're here, and when he's here, you're not happy, and when you're not happy when your brother's." But I think she's fine. I think she's fine. As long as they don't bother her, she won't bother them. And there was plenty of people to interact with. But he was like saying it loud, like trying to get their ear.
Get them to come over.
To get them to start. And I think he was really trying to start a fight this whole night.
Yeah, a physical one?
Anyone. Physical, verbal, whatever. And I think he was trying to get them to do it first. But he definitely was instigating.
But because he was so loud and so bright red.
Oh my God, it's the same color as this damn maroon suit.
I know. It was
scary.
It was bad. So it didn't make him look good. And I think here's the other issue too, right? Joe Gorga has a history of being aggressive and fighting. We expect this from Joe. When he's normal, it's actually out of the ordinary. Yeah. That's the word? Yeah.
Yeah.
But he came in all, namaste, I want to make the group, I'm not involved in this. And now you flip the switch and now you look crazy.
He looks crazy.
So, I think a lot of people, we watched the Watch What Happens Live after it, and nobody sided with anything he did that night pretty much at all.
I don't think most people do. I don't think most people like him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of like...
And even Andy was like pinning her down saying, does he get this angry often? And she's like, no, never, not at home. And he's like, but it happened twice on the show. And she's like, yeah, it's only on the show.
So maybe you shouldn't be on the show.
So, well, there's that. Or are you just doing this for the show? Like, is this like show stuff? Or what is it? Because
he was yelling, he could have popped a blood vessel.
No, because here's my thing. If you're doing what you say you're doing, like you're calling Joe over, because it comes out that he called Joe over to give him a heads up about something. Yeah. So if you're trying to do this, get in front of something, then what are you doing? Like, why are you so aggressive only on the show, but at home? Because if what Teresa's saying is true, and he's trying to do things to be kind, like to get ahead of this, like, why aren't you, like, something's not right. Something's not gelling right or something.
Yeah.
Then we kind of just shift to this whole Danielle telling Jennifer that she's going to tell Melissa.
Yeah.
About the thing. And I was like, Jennifer's like, I know, but no, you can't. Like, she genuinely looked upset. Yeah. I think she didn't want her to do it. I will say the best
thing Jennifer Aiden did was go, so when they ask you where you got this from, what are you going to say? And she's like, said, and they go, she's like, Laura. Which I was like, thank God, because we talked about that. Like, it's going to get back to her, but thank God Jennifer, I mean, listen, they can still watch the show and see that she told her.
Yeah, but like, the other thing that I thought was nice was she did say to her, well, not in her, but it was more in her interview. She did say, she's like, the thing is, I was never going to bring this up because Melissa's never done anything to me. It's Marge that I had a problem with. So she said, why would I do anything to hurt Melissa? So I think that will save her too, the fact that she put that in her little
I will say,
thing,
out of all the people that knew about this, I think, like we said, Jennifer didn't really get into a fight, and I think she didn't have to, because she really isn't. Did she tell Danielle?
Yes, but I think it was because she kept pressuring her.
I think she just wanted to leave her alone.
Leave her alone. I
do
too.
I would actually say not at fault here for Jennifer.
No, I don't think she was. I don't think she was as bad. And here's the thing: I was listening to Danielle's argument, and I do agree to it to a certain degree, that if this girl is telling Teresa and Jennifer these things, and she does not start to see them come to light, she may try to do something on her own. Like, she made this girl Laura. If, like, she's telling them these facts with the intention that
they're
going to
spread
them and cause margin and whatever, all these problems, I feel like if she doesn't see something happen with them eventually, maybe like she's saying, she'll get so irate that she'll just start spreading it herself, and Melissa will be caught off guard. So I get that part of the story, but like in the end, Rachel says something to her. She's like, well, I stand by what I did. I was helping a friend or whatever. And she said, but you could have done it in private, not here. She's like, I did. Even the husband was like, I took her off. She wasn't private. They were off to the side. No, meaning not at this Irish party with a full house of people.
And the
you could have called her for lunch.
Week where nobody crossed over and sat down would have been perfect to have a scene together.
Yeah, have a lunch. Go stop into her house and see her.
Instead of us constantly saying, oh, how she didn't have any scenes with anybody. All right, so sorry, Cashew is potentially getting beaten. I'm not really sure what that was.
No.
I can't tell if it's happy or sad. No, but like we were saying, since she came back from Ireland, it was only with her mom. You could have at least threw the scene in there with Melissa and told her. Because then, I think that actually would have been better, because then Melissa would have been going to this party like fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the storyline, that would have been better. I mean, yes, it was better that you taught her right there in the moment.
Yes,
snap.
It was a bad fight, but it wasn't a productive fight for the show. Like, it was a more chaotic, crazy time fight. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because you couldn't even figure out who was yelling at who.
It was bad.
Like, I saw Rachel come over and she was like, "What's going on?"
I know. It's like, come on.
And like, and then like, Melissa's trying to yell at Danielle, and Danielle's like, Why does her like other arguments like, why does the messenger never get in trouble, right?
But this is what I'm like.
And the messenger.
Why was the messenger? Why don't shoot the messenger? Something.
No, that's not what I mean.
Oh, the messenger. Yeah, because this is what I understand.
No, she was trying to get Marge in trouble because she's the messenger. And then Marge came over, and Marge is yelling at her, and she was like, "Well, don't you shoot the messenger." Well, I don't know. Either are we going to hold the messengers accountable or not? Because you're saying 2 seconds ago was like, we got to hold Marge accountable. She's the messenger. But now she's like, don't shoot me.
No, she's got some weird thing with Marge that I don't know what it is. But
I mean, I guess she could have gone for Marge this season if that's who she wanted to have a fight with. Because Marge is on the lower end of like the big housewives in this one.
Yeah, but I don't know where they're going with this, but they're never going to beat Marge. I don't care what they say, because even when she's wrong, somehow she's right or sounding right, or I don't know. It just never pans out, so you should stop doing it. But I did notice that when it came back from the commercial, did you notice that they were doing a Guinness chug? Jackie, Joe Gorga, and Paul?
No.
Yes. It was very...
While they were fighting?
No. Well, very... I think it was like on the heel... I think it was...
Like while like...
No, it was right before that. Because it was right after she tells her she's going to do like...
Oh, like before the other ladies started moving into there.
Yeah, I noticed. And then I noticed that when it came back, I'm like, I accidentally went back by mistake. And I was like, wait, I missed that scene. Because it was the three of them. And then I'm like, no, did I? And then I realized it was when they came back, they really didn't address it. You just saw, like, it was like scanning the room. You just saw Jackie was going. She almost had him, but Paulie beat her. Joe Gorga couldn't even do it. He was gagging. I was like, oh my God, look at these two. And she was close, but, you know, he's a true Irishman. He beat her out. There's just no way around it. And then you got Melissa talking about how little Frankie looks like Leonardo DiCaprio, and he did. And that Joe Gorga was the short Italian friend in the movie, and that really did look
Never seen Titanic.
Yeah, there's a little like Italian guy that looks, So Danielle, I almost am like kind of happy because she does annoy me. So I'm kind of glad that Melissa blew up her spot. She sits her down. Well, she walks her over, and of course everybody's on the heels of like, what's going on over there? So they're already on heightened alert to see what these two are going to sit by themselves for. So you get her sitting, like she's waiting for some big reaction, and she's like, surprise, I already knew. Yeah. And it's like, oh.
It's like I've known for the past 6 months.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Which means they've clearly, I mean, obviously I think they would have tried to film this, but this was clearly way before even filming began.
That definitely had to be. And obviously it was something that they did without anybody knowing. But, and I mean, clearly because they did it behind Melissa's back, because she tells them that, do you know how I know? My husband told me. And because Louis privately called her to have him secretly come over so that he could tell him this big, like, story and, you know, whatnot. And here's the thing. If Louis was trying to be good or be nice about it, why didn't they have both of them come over and confront them together? And that's what Melissa was trying to say. If you are trying to do this to be like kind and nice and, you know, let them know what's out there and get in front of it, why wouldn't you bring me over? And because, see, they were talking so fast, I was like, wait, what are they talking about? She was repeating what she felt Teresa should have said. Like, you should say, oh, I don't believe that Melissa did that.
Yeah.
Right? So what are we going to do about this? Like, she didn't do that. And Teresa let her husband, or whatever he was at the time, fiance, she still let him make the call and bring him over here. She didn't have to do it.
Yeah. Well, and sure clearly it sounds like she was there with him. It wasn't like Louis like snuck out, went to like a restaurant and said, hey, Joe, meet me here.
Not at all. And here's the other thing. Obviously, Louis knows this because why? Your big mouth told him, Teresa.
Yeah. Well, unless the private investigator.
But no, I think she told him, and I think he got the private investigator involved then to dig up more stuff.
Probably.
I truly believe that's what she did. Of course, now Melissa is thinking, old school thinking, oh, Teresa put Danielle up to this, to start this and bring this out to light because we didn't let it go anywhere. Because obviously Melissa and Joe just let it go because he's like, no, you got the wrong girl. Which I'm very glad to see him stick up for his wife in that respect. But whatever. I don't think she cheats on him either.
No.
I mean, at this stage of the game, first of all, they're too popular. Anybody that you're going to get... No, but you're too well known.
Vanderpump Rules?
No. Well, those are two idiots that did that together.
That are almost their age.
No, but I'm just saying, those were two castmates that were being sneaky. I'm saying, if Melissa tried to go out with some random person, you don't think they're going to take advantage of that and be like, guess who I got with? Melissa no. They're not that stupid, and it's not worth it because they know they're going to ruin a good thing. I don't believe it at all. So, of course, now... they come over. Everybody starts coming over. It's like, because now Marge is hearing her name or seeing her name coming out of her mouth.
She could see she was mouthing her name.
Yeah, and she was saying it a lot. I mean, you have to agree, right? I mean, it was like, Marge this, Marge that. Why is Marge up in the hands with the arms? So, of course, she comes over and starts with her usual, like, mowing the lawn again.
Are we serious?
Yeah, there's a serious lawn mowing going down there.
It's like every time at this week they mow the lawn and she starts screaming over there.
Well, we do the podcast on the same day. It's not like we are changing it and they're just randomly picking another day. They are.
Why don't they start picking? They pick a different day. We were here first.
I'll get out there and tell them. Melissa said she never had any intention of confronting Teresa about this. They were just gonna let it. They were just gonna let it go, and then Marge comes over and starts. And Marge really. I love me Marge, but she was really hitting low. Yeah. She was calling her, like, stupid and dumb and all sorts of
ugly
things.
Amazon dress.
Stupid shit stirrer and, like, she was calling... Yeah, ugly. Yeah, I'll go take her ugly Amazon. And I thought her dress was kind of pretty. I mean, it was okay, but...
I mean, it did look like she just searched 20s dress on Amazon and bought the first thing.
She probably did. She looks like that type. Nothing beat, though. They start... When Marge comes over... Now they start scanning the room, like they're just like panning around the room, the cameras, and you just see like people's faces are in shock and horror over like what is going on there. Like Dolores is like, what? Something's happening over there? I think something's happening. But then you get to Louis, and he has the biggest grin on his face with these freaking bug eyes, and his face is beet red. He looks like he is like loving it and lapping up that somehow Melissa's involved in something.
Yeah.
Like almost like he knows, oh, this came out.
Yeah.
And that must be what Danielle's telling her because he probably knew that Danielle knew because Teresa knew. So he seems like...
Well, in the sit-down, Teresa did say that Jennifer told her that she probably
opened her. So she probably told him because she can't keep a damn secret either. And then you see there's one gentleman in the back, big guy, that's with security. But then you also see a lady come around on Danielle's side, all in black.
Oh, yeah. I only saw the guy.
She wasn't very tall, but you could see she was involved in this, like, as if she was maybe female security. I don't know how that is. Like, maybe they like to have a female for the females or something. I don't know. But
could have been a producer on accident.
But who was holding Rachel or somebody was holding Marge back or somebody was holding Marge back?
It was Melissa because you kept saying Melissa's trying to pick up Marge and pull her back.
Yeah, she was like trying to like back her up or something like that. I don't know. And then of course Teresa and Jenny finally come over because they realize like, oh, here we go, shit hit the fan. Let's get over there and deal with whatever we have to deal with. And then they all just start screaming at each other because Melissa, seriously now, girl. With the loser, she starts calling them loser with a nice throwback of an old school hand gesture of L. And Teresa, the only thing she sees is, what is this? this with Elle? What are you doing with the loser? What are you doing with the loser? Like, nothing else. She has nothing else but that. Like, I'm like, seriously?
Because that's the thing. It's like...
She is one-track mind.
Yeah, but she's like Clues, but it's like she picks random little things, and she's like, that's what bothers her.
Runs with it. I couldn't even. But in the true tradition of her, because of that, she gave us some traditional wow.
Look at you, Melissa. Wow.
Look at you. I was like, oh,
it's
my
the damn
God.
clip that I've been playing since like the first trailer dropped. They love that.
But
clip
she,
wow.
But she loves.
Look at Joe.
No, look at you.
Look at Joe.
I'm like, oh my God. I just was like, I will say though, I do think she's, like I said before, she's definitely handling her anger better, because that was the extent of it. She walked away.
Yeah.
She just removed herself right out of the scenario. But she did not leave before telling Dosh, do you see what she just did? Do you see what she just did? She's trying to start a fight with me or something. And I'm just like...
I think because... I think she's still scared because I think ever having to go after going to the prison...
I know. I think she's trying to make sure everybody realizes, like, it's not me. It's not me.
Well, no, I think ever since that, and then the... when she called Kim D a posh... That fight, like, I feel like since then she's less physical, at least.
Oh, no, she's definitely less physical. I don't anticipate her getting physical with Melissa anyway, because I just don't think they're like that. I think they're more war of the words.
I think prison changed her for real.
Well, I think she realized, like, hello, consequences, so let's not, But it's interesting because, like, we were saying that his place is not that small, but also with all those people and then trying to add cameras to it, they're not maneuvering around as quick as they would probably have liked to.
Yeah, well, because they get behind this like little bar thing, and you can see the camera is not like it's just like shaking, like they're trying to get over there. Yeah, they're
trying to get over there because all you hear is Teresa going, "Get off me, get off me!" Because Melissa's
I didn't see her touching her though.
I think she was like doing like a little arm grab, like trying
to
pull her,
come back out here, like let's talk.
Like don't go over here, like knowing that like they won't be able to catch this or something. And I think that's what she was trying to do. But
well, no, she was running to Louis.
Yeah, that's where she was going. And I think she was trying to keep her from over, him. Because all you then see is Louis very proudly and like almost gloating. Like, yeah, I called Joe Gugger. I told him and told him.
I'm a winner. I'm a winner.
Well, yeah, and then he's like, and I told him a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, that was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's like, I'm a winner. She's a winner. We're both winners. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with him? I do think they fed him some whiskey and such and stuff. I do think he had some liquor in him that didn't help the situation.
It would have been one thing to be like, yeah, he was probably a little drunk, but he was just as aggressive in with Teresa alone talking.
Yeah, no, I think this is just who he is, and I think maybe he doesn't bring it up because maybe they're not around and it's not. But I think if something heats him up, watch out. It's not going to be pretty. Yeah. So don't you ever heat him up. And then Marge is like telling Teresa, "Oh, this is you. You let your girls do this. You let you let them do this. Start this whole thing." I mean, I don't know what she thought Teresa was going to do because all Teresa ever screams out is, "I'm not doing this for the I'm not getting involved because of the wedding or something about the wedding." I'm like, the wedding has nothing to do. What are you talking about? Like the wedding has nothing to do with this.
Well, my favorite though is with the wedding when they like move outside and it was the part where they were like starting to hold the guys back with what the hell's his name, Louis.
Yeah.
Nate grabs him and is like, dude, your wedding's 2 days away. And he's like, yeah, I know. Like he was like, I think he was
like he's trying to
get a fight so they don't come. Like I think and that's 100% because there was just something like in his I know, not like it wasn't like I know, let me stop it. It was like
he's like, let me go find Teresa. Yeah, he's like, let me go find Teresa. I'm like, please. Marge and Jen, Aiden though started fighting and that turned crazy. I don't know what was going on there. Wild. And then you hear Bill and Joe, which I thought was nice. He's like, do you want to go shut this down or do you want to
Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, we could go shut this down if you want."
Yeah, they're like, "You want to go shut this down? We can do that." And then Marge again, she has been hitting this season a lot below the belt because she says something to Jen Aiden about her husband being with a subordinate or something like that.
Yeah, she says he slept with a subordinate and
she knows it or something. She said something about she knows it. I don't know if she meant the daughter or who, but Jen Aiden was like
she lost it.
She threw himself at her. Well, he could have said no, thank you, but he didn't. So there's that. You can't blame.
That was
you can't blame the woman.
She had a true and she got caught up on the words there.
You can't blame that. I'm like, please stop.
Because he did sleep with a subordinate. Whether he started it or she started, he still did.
He could have said no. I mean, to me, you could have said no, but this was like the most craziest thing because Rachel's like in her sit downs was like, what the hell? Like, sometimes
I think she was genuinely confused because, like,
I don't think she realizes what she was not like into.
Involved. Like, she just turned around and she was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
like,
and then it just went from like left to right to center. It was almost like
she was standing around and she could just spin in any direction, and there was a fight. One fight for
there
her
was
to
a
be
fight
like
somewhere everywhere you turned. Yeah, I think it was crazy too. I think, oops, sorry.
Like, Dolores also removed herself from the situation.
Well, her and Paulie were just standing back watching it.
Well, because Dolores did say, when I see something like this, I know when something's going to escalate.
Yeah.
And then you didn't see her after that, really.
No. I just thought it was crazy. And then you got Louis in the background with his bugged out eyes, and like and then Danielle can't wrap her mind around the fact that like Marge is not getting blamed, and that you know Rachel's trying to explain to her, like, just because some lady says something, that doesn't make it true. Like, where is the validity in this? Like, where's the truth? Like, we don't know who this lady is or whatever. And in all honesty, like, you are repeating something that some other lady said to another person. It's like so far down the telephone game that it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why are you like even so concerned with this lady? I don't know. It was just crazy.
I don't even think she's ever even like met her. I don't even know. Does she even know her last name?
No, she doesn't know anything about it.
Because I've only ever heard somebody call her Laura. The hell's her last name? Laura what?
I have no idea. I think they might have. No, I don't think they ever.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. I want to know. If I went up to Danielle, I'd be like, "What's Laura's last name?"
But then, like, what you said about Nate was holding him back. He just started looking like he was losing his mind. He was off the crazy train, and there was no pulling Louis back on the thing. Because then he starts. I don't know if he walked away or something, but Melissa said something to him like, "Oh yeah, I'm the one that you go and say something, and I'm the one that has to deal with this now, or I'm the one that's getting blamed or like talked about or something like that." And he starts getting like disrespectful a little bit, and like getting up in her face and saying stuff, and then of course now you're not going to talk to Melissa like that without Joe Gorga getting involved and stuff. Of course, I'm sure he's up in the mix and throwing people immediately. Fuda armed around him like he was a small child, and just like was holding him back. And then Bill was trying to like hold him back, because I think Bill knows when he gets like this, even the strongest like cannot hold Joe Gorga. He's like a little pit bull, and he's
tiny, he's slippery.
Yeah, he gets slippery and he gets out.
Because you think about it. Think about even when he went for Joe Giudice. He, as I said, as short people have to do, we got to shrink down and go for the legs. Yeah, well, and that's what he did for Joe Giudice.
They were both doing that at that Joe Giudice
fight. Joe Giudice is tiny as well, but Gorga's smaller. So that's what you always got to do. So, you know, if you're trying to, they could slip out of that headlock because he's going into that low grab position.
I hear it. But like I said, no one's going to do any fist fighting, because I think they know they'll get in trouble on the show. And I don't know that Louis knows that, but I think he's trying to provoke that, because he clearly was provoking upstairs.
Yeah.
He clearly was provoking. He goes down the stairs to go find Teresa after Nate kind of gets him out. And he's like, it's all a different story.
No! Well, before he even gets down the stairs, he's walking down the stairs. They literally wrote on the thing, giggling.
Yeah.
He was giggling, smiling. I'm like, this looks like the Joker without his face paint on, didn't he?
Because I think he
the red
got
suit
what he
and
wanted.
everything.
He wanted to cause an uproar with Teresa, with Melissa and Joe and all this craziness. And then he gets down there and he's like,
I think sometimes
Melissa's
he
trying
forgets
to start a fight
the cameras are on him.
I don't know.
Because like that giggling down the stairs was so crazy and creepy.
I don't even know who he was talking to, because he wasn't with Teresa at the time, and he's already coming down the stairs going, Joe tried to start a fight with me, and Melissa's trying to fight with me, and it was a whole different story. Because I'm like, and then Gianna's like, what's going on? Like, I'm like, okay, you guys, this is where you go wrong, because now you're acting like
you could have got out of it.
Yeah, but no, like now you're acting like you're into this, and I don't know. It was a whole different thing. So now, of course, everybody's gonna leave, and you know, it's Marge is upstairs, and Danielle is like getting pissed, and she starts screaming again about kissing her flat white butt or something. I don't know. She wasn't backing down, which I give her props for that. She didn't run away and cry for a change. Yeah. But she was still just as annoying. So whether she stays or goes, she's still just as annoying, in my opinion. So if you go home crying or you stay and fight,
at least she stayed and fought, though.
I guess, yeah. Well, they probably told her.
Listen, her ending card would have came so much sooner. It already came pretty early in the episode.
And in her ending card, they said, I don't have what they said on the cards, but I kind of know. But you wrote it down?
No.
Oh, as she's walking down the stairs, he said, "Oh, what a night," or something, and she said, it went according to plan, or it went as planned or something. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, like, did you mean that it would go as a shit show, or that you intended for it to go as a shit show? Like, is that what you thought was going to go on? Because that was suspicious to begin with.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah. She was like, yep, that one is planned.
But I love, everybody starts leaving, and like you said, the end cards start happening, and hers was that, you know, she's going to focus on her bougie kids. Still
doesn't talk to the brother.
Yeah, still doesn't talk to the brother. Rachel leaves, and she did end up adopting Jaden. Yeah. So that was nice.
Marge was the next one.
I don't think that was her biggest thing, was that.
Rachel's? Then, they said they took a trip to Disney.
Yeah, and then Marge is still living with Lexi and Nino, which I thought was interesting, because isn't Lexi and Nino living with Marge? But they wrote it. Marge is still living with them. With them. What else is she doing?
Something about packing her arsenal with extended family.
Oh, yeah, and then they joked and said she's packing her arsenal with it. Yeah, that was funny.
And then that was okay. And for the three. Because they don't show back up. Which I was just like, that's so funny. Because, you know, that's how they have to do the ending card. They couldn't get them involved in the next day of filming. They just said, nope, screw you guys.
They were probably like, yeah, we're done with that. And then, of course, you have Dolores and Paulie, who are upstairs. And they're like, Paul's like, okay, you like, I feel like he's like, Dolores warned me, but wow, never saw it coming. He was like,
great party.
Because he's like, that was such a great party, but it's the way he said it that you knew he was being sarcastic. Yeah. And she was just like, I almost felt
like he almost was a little bit, though. Like, his sarcasticness was like, yep, that was a great party. Like, I got a true traditional housewife party.
I did it. Well, I did it. I banged that out. And then, of course, now you see Jennifer Aiden showing up in her full-blown Fendi patterned pants at Teresa's house, which I think was a bit much, but okay. Boast in your pants. I don't know. Boast about your pants, whatever you want to do it. And Teresa can't light a freaking candle because she's still so shaken up about last night.
Oh, yeah. Or like, shaky hands.
You weren't even really involved, like, in a certain respect. It was your crazy husband that was involved. And, of course, they slip back to Dolores giving...
Yeah, to the
Melissa a call to say, like, hey, I'm sorry, you know, what happened at my house. I really feel bad. And, you know, and Melissa kind of just says, I can't support somebody and their marriage if they are constantly trying to break mine up.
Yeah.
So she told her, I don't think we're going to the wedding. So she said, can I tell them if they ask? And she said, yeah, absolutely. We're not going, which I don't blame them at this point. Like, how could you go and support somebody that's like...
Yeah. Who just was, like, yelling at you the night before, like,
and
crazy.
6 months ago was telling, you know, and then it goes deeper, which you find out more stuff. That's like, no, I can understand why they don't want to go to this wedding. You know, it's a little, because then they show Joe Gorga, and he's at the new house, and he's, you know, talking to the guys and stuff, and then you get his little take on it, and he's like, you know, yeah, he called me privately and told me to come over, and then he's telling me, but that's not just it, there's other guys, and there's more to it, and there's multiple men, and then he gets a call from his niece, Gia. I'm like, where is he going with this?
Which Teresa conveniently never mentioned, never talked about.
Nope, didn't bring it up, but I'm like, where are you going with this? Because this is weird, because I'm thinking, he said he doesn't want to bring kids into this, but then he says she told him, you know, we just think that you can do better. And I'm like, wow. Calls him up and tells him you can do better. And Mom and Louie agree. And we all agree.
Yeah, that's so...
So do you think based on that, Gia, honey, he's going to just divorce his wife and leave his grown-ass kids after all these years?
Yeah, because here's my thing.
Like, these are grown kids. These are your cousins that you're trying to split up their parents.
Potentially that, like, if you did, like... if their kids found out that you did this, like, they're not going to want to like you.
Clearly, they're going to. I'm sure they do know. But, I mean, and that's the sad part. It's like Melania and Antonio were very close and stuff. I mean, I'm sure they'll drift apart. Now she's going to University of Delaware.
Yeah, Delaware.
So, I mean, they're going to drift apart. But the thing is, it's just sad because, like, you are intentionally, these cousins that you loved and talked about wishing you could be closer, you're trying to break up their family.
Because what the hell? What if Melissa got full custody and, like, moved away?
At this stage of the game, like, clearly he doesn't see anything wrong with her, so let it go.
And who the hell is he going to start over with?
Exactly. Like, who do you think he's going to start over with? I don't know. I was just like, wow, that's you know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And then, of course, we, you know, go back to now Dolores is showing up at the house, and she sits down and starts talking about what, you know, that she was just talking to Melissa. She felt bad, so she wanted to call and see what, you know, how she was and blah blah. And of course, in comes crazy red face Louie with his Bo Dietl story or whatever.
Doesn't even sound like a real name.
I know. I don't know.
Sorry, Bo Dietl.
But I was glad that Dolores said, Because he says, I tried to help him, and Bo Dietl came to me and he brought me all this information. He has information on the whole group. And Dolores even said, I don't understand why he has a private investigator, and what are they doing, and why are they doing it?
I do think there was also just some other
why are you doing that?
In the sit down when they were talking, she was like making faces when he would say things, and I think if there was any reason for Teresa and Dolores to never be friends, I think Louis could pull them apart.
Oh, I do too.
Because I think he says some things that makes her like weirded out and uncomfortable, and it's kind of like,
if not that, just that she should just steer clear of him.
Well, yeah, like not be as buddy with something
definitely. Weird is with him.
Well, because what the hell, like I don't know if I want you to like dig stuff up.
No,
like you don't know what
that. Like you don't want that. And then of course she tells them that Melissa said they're not coming to the wedding, and
they've been cut like Kathy.
That's what Teresa said, cut like Kathy. She's relieved because it's like a weight lifted off her shoulder. So they got what they wanted. She said that Melissa got what she wanted. She's been trying to keep her brother from her all this time. And now I believe that Teresa got what she wanted. She didn't want them to come to the wedding, and she wanted them to do it and look like the bad people.
Yeah.
So I think they all think they got what they wanted, but I don't think so. And then the end card shows Dolores saying that she and Paulie are
looking for a new
house.
That
and
$2 million something mansion he lives in.
I know, but there's a lot of stairs in there. It's like set up a little bit odd.
And I didn't see an elevator. If there's like a little mini elevator,
I thought he had.
No,
I know, maybe
I don't think so. There's a lot of stairs.
Maybe not. Yeah. So they're looking for a house and something about a ring. I don't know.
Something about a pot of gold. She's hoping that at the end of her pot of gold is a ring.
There's shape of ring. I don't know. Of course, Jennifer Aiden, weirdo. I don't even remember what hers was. Oh, she was something about therapy.
They're still working on their marriage or something.
Yeah, something silly. Nothing, like, obviously it was very lackluster that I didn't recall it. Teresa, she's getting married and blah, blah, blah. Basically, that's it. She's getting married.
Yeah. Well, because it's kind of, here's the thing, though. They did this for Teresa, but, like, next week is the wedding special.
Well, that's what they said. They said the wedding is not that great that she got her own special. It's just an episode. It's just an episode. It's not lengthy.
Like just the finale.
And then you have Melissa, who they said is going to throw a housewarming party, and Louis and Teresa will not be on the guest list.
Yeah.
Which we'll probably never see that at this rate, because they're on pause.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm curious to see what the reunion brings, because I know that Andy Cohen said they didn't get any resolution and it didn't go the way he hoped it could have went. In the past, they've always resolved it, everybody.
Yeah, somewhat.
To a certain degree.
Enough to just then start fighting as soon as they start filming.
Agreed to disagree or something like that. And this time, I don't think so.
No.
Sad to say we don't know when we'll see Jersey ever again.
I even told her this. I have a very bad luck with starting like shows and then something happens to them. Mm-hmm. I started in New York. What happened? They went on pause. But they're coming back with new wives though.
Yeah.
And oh my god, wait, how do we not talk about this Ultimate Girls Trip?
Yeah.
Season 5
they were spewing out a lot
will
this
be the
past week.
They had the NBC upfronts, which is kind of like where they announced stuff. They announced that season 5 Ultimate Girls Trip is going to be the Legacies cast. There's Kristen, Kelly, Luann, Dorinda, Ramona, and Sonia finally.
Yeah, I think
finally. So excited. I feel like that is a really good. I feel like Kristen's a little like rogue.
Yeah. Well, no, I think because she
did have drama with Ramona though, so I guess that's where they're going.
She might be friends with Kelly Ben Simone.
Oh.
I feel like that she could be.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I think this will be like an interesting.
Because I'm thinking she brought her in, and then Kelly left. I think she did. I think she brought. I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah,
I forget how she got in, but I thought it could have been Kelly. So they could be friends, and maybe that's how it ended up happening. I don't know, but
yeah, I think it'll be a good group. So that'll be exciting.
It'll be interesting.
They are going to. Oh no.
Oh, they're going to the house that in St. Bart's that they rented with the Bethany and Ramona and Jill Zarin thing. They're going to that house.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. That's the house they're going to. Where
it will be.
I'm here.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. I'm here. Yeah. So it's gonna be that one.
That one will definitely be good. But yeah, the new New York starts in July. So we'll obviously giving that a chance, and hopefully it's not a letdown.
I know. I like a couple of the women on it, but
I don't know any of them. So, but we'll see.
I don't want to prejudge, but it's so hard.
But come back next week. We'll talk about the wedding special.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. And then the reunions. Those will all be up every Saturday. And this Monday will be our first ever Vanderpump Rules episode. We're going to give our thoughts on Scandival, like officially. We're going to go and watch the finale right now. And we'll also talk about Ariana on the Watch What Happens Live.
We'll
so
give
we have all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we watched the whole thing, so I think it'll be interesting to watch this.
Yeah, because it's very fresh in our minds.
After watching the whole entire season, all the seasons, and then to see this. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
So we gotta go though because we have to go watch that. So hopefully you'll leave us a good rating and subscribe and follow and turn notifications so you don't miss any episodes. And give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. And so leave a comment telling us how we can improve if you're on YouTube. And also check out our other podcast. We talk about it all. We upload every other Friday on there. Yes. I like this one that we just did. This was funny.
Yeah.
It's a little chuckle. All right.
A little chuckly chew. So, yep.
Okay. We'll be back next week.
Hit the button so we can watch some Scandival.